to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Well, shut my mouth and call me compound if it ain't the little old South. Eyes come in, but my head is bending low.
Charge! Get back there, you dang Yankee! Great horny toads, I'm up north. Gotta burn my boots, they touched Yankee soil.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Please visit twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. And now, here's Chris Colon and Paul Persprillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And if anybody spoils Arkham Knight for me, I'm going to slash their fucking throat.
Well, you're the one that's on Joker's gas, so...
Yeah, I'm the one on Joker's gas. Because, long story short, I got my hands on my old phone. I had a Galaxy S3. I'm Team Galaxy, as we've discussed in the past. As we discussed in the past, you're Team iPhone. I'm Team Galaxy. That being said, my Galaxy S3, we're already up to the S6 now. My Galaxy S3 has just been... It's just took forever to fucking charge. I mean, you know, it lived its life. I mean, I was a couple of months short of my 2-year contract. You know, these phones, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Planned obsolescence. You know, they plan these phones to die after a year, so you kind of have to come in early. Or if you find some other way, I'm pretty sure if I really, really tried, I could have went to like eBay or something or Craigslist and found a different phone. But I really, really, really wanted to get a Galaxy S6, the newest ones. There's a Galaxy S6, there's a Galaxy S6 Active, which is what I got. And of course, I didn't pay anything up front. It's going to be added onto my bill, which I found out, well, of course, my bill went down, but then with the payment of the phone, it kind of brought it right back to where it was. And then I found out, well, not that I found out, but I was given the right directions on how to use my job to get me an employee discount with AT&T. Not that I'm a super big fan of their service, but at the time when I was looking for a phone, they were the ones that accepted me. And so I got a Galaxy S6 Active, which I mean, I can't really show the people on the phone because I'm using that to actually record, but it's kind of like all rugged looking. It kind of like it's like even like the edges have like extra little bumpers around the edges. When you grab it, it kind of has like a very like a woven feel to it, almost like, you know. And I'm pretty sure it's just plastic that feels good, but it looks rugged. And from what I understand, it has Gorilla Glass made not too far from here, just a little south from here at Corning, New York. And then so I signed my soul to the devil for another 2 years for a Galaxy S. So the picture that I took on my Facebook page, where I was kind of like going, Eee! I was making a weird face. See, now this is a podcast, is a visual medium, people. Or you could just follow me on Facebook. But the face that I was making, I was testing out the phone. I just wanted to see, and it's cool because it kind of gives me this beautiful cinematic view. And I'm like,
dude, I told you to stop taking those drugs, okay?
I'm not on drugs. I am on Rip It. If we can't, I wonder if we can get sponsorship for like the 99 cents Red Bull ripoff. Rip It. When I'm not worshiping Satan, I drink Rip It. But hope I don't get sued.
Rip It. Now available at every store.
Rip It. Available at your local corner store where the money goes to support Al Qaeda. Which actually, the recording that we're doing right now on Periscope is actually going to be a little longer than the episode, because when I edit the podcast, I do a thing called truncate silence, where it takes our little breaks in silence and shortens them, just so if people listen to the podcast and like, why do they sound like they're talking on top of each other? I do that thing called truncate. It makes the episodes a little shorter. They take up less space, you know, a little less gaps, you know. So when there's like big long silent breaks, like you know, then we can just let Audacity.
Chris is usually the one that has that.
No, I talk all the fucking time. You're the one who takes big breaks. You're the one who goes, well, basically what it is like. And we don't have. I'm so surprised that our number one fan Oscar hasn't written me sometime in the past week. But we're actually recording this on a day that is relatively. We're almost on schedule. Usually we skip a week and we record a new episode because both our lives go fucking twists and turns. But I haven't gotten an email saying where's the newest episode, asshole. So, but yeah, I'm waiting for Arkham Knight. My birthday was last week. Jesus, 10 days ago. My birthday was a couple days ago, and my dad, thank you, Dad. Shout out to Dad. He ordered me not only the Arkham game, but it was the Arkham Knight PlayStation 4 edition. It's like the fucking pimped out PlayStation that has the logo on it. Comes with the game, comes with all the currently available downloadable content. I'm pretty sure if there's more shit that comes out later on, because I think there's going to be like a Robin downloadable content, Harley Quinn missions. I'm not 100% sure because I don't want to spoil it. Once again, it came out yesterday, and I already seen it. People on my Twitter feed, there's already YouTube videos of people who are playing the game. I don't know if they've gotten all the way through it, but I don't want the ending spoiled for me. So I've been pretty much purposely avoiding anything about the Arkham Knight, but I did come across one thing just tonight as we're recording this. I mean, literally about 20 minutes before we started recording. They've suspended the PC downloading. I don't know if this would quantify as nerdy news, the second half of the show, or the first, I just, since it's like breaking news, it's on the top of my list. Arkham Knight, basically, it was on Steam, and I've used Steam. I mean, Steam is pretty awesome when you download PC games. I'm more of a console guy myself. Right. I'm a PS3 man, but we want to this is according to Polygon.com, and they're saying that the publisher, Warner Brothers Games community, said that we want to apologize to you for the experience of experiencing performance issues with Batman Arkham Knight on PC. We take these issues very seriously and have therefore decided to suspend future game sales on the PC version while we work to address these issues, yada, yada, yada. So if you're like a console guy, because I have one friend on my Facebook page that was like, fuck it, I don't even want to go to GameStop. I'm not going to give him my money. And since I want to play the game right now, it's not like you're going to go to GameStop and get a discount or anything. He goes, I'm just downloading it straight to my PlayStation 4. I mean, I would assume a game like that it's either like really hard to find right now, or they probably made 1 billion copies, so you can probably find it real easy. But still, if you're going to pay full price, if you're one of those people, if you're an early adopter for a game, you probably, and I'm praying and I'm hoping. I mean, the PlayStation 4 has been out for a little bit. I hope the PlayStation 4 that my dad, that my dad ordered for me, I hope that doesn't have any issues. Like whenever any kind of new technology comes out, it kind of like has, the first generation always has issues. I mean, hopefully it's a PlayStation 4 with just a logo on it. I hope they don't do anything. I hope there's no problems with it. So once again, I won't be able to play it till next week. So I'm so fucking excited.
Your dad needs to give me some money.
Well, I mean, look, this is, and he even told me, he goes like, this is my birthday gift / upcoming Christmas gift / Father's Day gift / so,
basically you're done for the rest of the year.
And you know what it is? I mean, if I sit home and I play Batman Arkham Knight, I'm not going outside getting in trouble. It's a bribe to stay home and not get in trouble. Or podcast.
What would you do? Would you go outside and like frolic and be like, la 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 la, shoot somebody, la 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 la?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm kind of scared to go outside right now. For us of upstate New York, that's a cool segue right there. There's still I don't know how much coverage this is getting in other states, but I don't think so, because this is pretty much a New York thing, a upstate New York thing. The 2 escaped prisoners from Clinton Correctional Facility. They're still on the run, and long story short, they had a civilian, these 2 guys, one who, according to the news or whatever, I mean, they talk about it on the radio like as a goof, apparently had like a big dick or whatever, and they were both banging like this 50-year-old frumpy fat woman with glasses and like curly hair, and on the outside world, no one would give this woman a second look, and especially the fact that they had convinced her.
Well, she's married too, so.
And she was married too. Now, mind you, and the rumors going around, and once again, allegedly, the rumors going around is that she was getting double teamed by these guys in the closet of the tailor shop where they worked in Clinton Correctional Facility, and so this fat slut was bringing in stuff for them, and she was bringing in tools, and she was hiding the tools in frozen meat, because the inmates are allowed to get packages. And then I've said this before, I was a New York State correction officer, so I'm very familiar with the packages. Inmates. Well, the last time I worked for New York State, which is about 4 or 5 years ago, they're allowed 35 pounds of food a month that's sent from an outside source, like your family or your friends or whoever. People can send you money. So somehow maybe she was bringing it in herself, or she was ordering it for them, but she had made arrangements for the meat to have like saw blades in it, and she was kind of manipulating the correction officers, because she was just a civilian, and she was manipulating the correction officers by giving them like baking them cookies and pie and all sorts of bullshit, like plying them with baked goods so they can overlook.
Apparently, they arrested a correctional officer tonight. That's the rumor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because...
Well, there's another person on top of this that was doing something too, so... Well,
there was one guy, either he was in on it or he was just incredibly negligent. The officer was supposed to be, like, looking at their cells. I think they were... the inmates at the actual facility were complaining because, and once again, when you're the officer at night, you're supposed to check. You got to make sure there's bodies in the cells, and what you would do is you either knock on the bars or you flash a flashlight in their face. You're supposed to see some sort of flesh, and of course, most people, especially if it's cold, especially if you're in fucking Clinton, New York, which is fucking that's upstate. That is you're literally 20 miles south of Canada. They had if you have a blanket, you sleep with your blanket covered. But the inmates complained about the officers making the night rounds. Basically, imagine if an officer came around, they did a round every hour on the hour. Imagine being woke up every hour. Of course, these are piece of shit inmates and deserve to be woken up every hour on the hour. But I guess they call that cruel and unusual punishment. So the officers would make rounds, but not to the extent that they're supposed to make rounds, where you're supposed to make sure that there's at least a body in the bed. And they're behind bars. It's not like you could just open the cell and just poke them or something like that. So and then I honestly have no idea why an officer got arrested, but part of the story was that they found DNA at a cabin 20 miles away from the prison, which people were saying it was a cabin that a bunch of officers were using for hunting. That they were, it was a and I know a lot of guys do it up north. They all put in a little bit of money to get a place, so it's like an unofficial timeshare. Everybody puts a little money. Okay, you get this weekend, I got that weekend, and the guy, I guess, in that cabin was a shotgun. So the house, you're either in on escape or you're incredibly fucking stupid and negligent, because to leave a gun in a place that can be, why would you leave a gun in a cabin, even if it's locked up? I mean, if you give someone enough time, they can get that lock open. A saw blade and a little will get a lock open. So either that or the gun. They don't say if the gun was secured or whatever. But so now we got two guys on the run with a shotgun at the very least. God knows whatever else this woman set up for them or whatever other plans they had. So, and they said they found DNA. I think they left a pair of underwear behind or something like that.
Right.
So it's just, so we have to make sure that, well, I mean, like I said, it's been a couple of days already and they've only gotten 20 miles away.
It's been at least a couple weeks, actually.
Has it been too? Has it been? Well, I mean, it can't be more than like 3 weeks, but
it's almost been a month, but it's not like.
Yeah, I got you. And it just, and once again, look, like I said, I was a correctional officer. I understand how it's very easy to get complacent in your job. It's very easy when you're with these inmates. These are manipulators. These are people who before they got locked up. I mean, just because they got locked up for one thing doesn't mean they're not guilty of 50 other things. You know what I'm saying? You could have someone arrested for a small crime. That doesn't mean they've killed 50 people. They just got arrested for one other thing. And, all their other murders just haven't been, investigated or followed through to the point where, they're suspects. So, these guys are out, and I'm surprised. I mean, they had, state troopers out there. They had dogs on them. And speaking of dogs, Dog the Bounty Hunter, from what I understand, has decided to come to upstate New York and look for these guys. So,
Oh, that would be awesome.
He would definitely get his. I don't know if is he still on the Learning Channel?
I don't know anymore.
At least in repeats, they have to still at least be giving his repeats. It's like this will be a new deal. Okay, Bretta, But from what I understand, he's either in upstate New York right now, or he's coming to upstate New York. And they said there's like 1,000 guys. They said there's like literally 1,000 guys looking for these guys. But come on, guys, come on, step up your game. So there, when it comes to just a second ago, we were talking about guns. This dumbass in was it North Carolina, South Carolina? Forgive me for my ignorance on the actual state that it happened in. But some asshole shot up a church.
Yeah, it was in South Carolina, I believe.
South Carolina. And once again, I mean, this comes down just like what I was just saying a second ago about the guys who had the shotgun in the cabin. I was raised. My father had weapons in the house when I was growing up. My father taught me or gave me a healthy respect for being a weapons owner. I don't like saying gun owner. For some reason, gun just doesn't. It's you're a weapon owner. It's your job to secure these weapons. It's your job to make sure they don't fall in the hands of fucking crazy people. And apparently, there's a couple of conspiracy theories online about how he got the gun. People are saying that there's a conspiracy online basically saying that he was given the gun to assassinate the guy. Like, this guy was supposed to be like a modern day Martin Luther King, and this kid was they purposely put the gun and the idea of killing this guy in his head. I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory, but what I keep hearing is that they said his parents gave him the gun. Now, if anybody knows their kids, it should be a parent. And right. Why would you? Just looking at the fucking kid, you could tell that there's something wrong with him. He's not. Oh, okay. I realize we have at least one watcher right now. Hello, watcher. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the phone when. But they said the kid's obviously a fucking psycho. So why would you give your psycho child a gun? It's ridiculous. So, and then, like I said, I don't subscribe to the theory that he was given the gun and this is some sort of big conspiracy. A fucking asshole got his hand on a gun that was given to him. What am I saying? He didn't get his hands on it. The same way those upstate escaped prisoners got their fucking hands on a gun because somebody was stupid enough not to secure their weapon. So, and of course, I do feel, it's tragic. People are in church, something like this doesn't happen in a church. You would think of all the places that are like somewhat sacred, a church would be a safe place to go. And not that there was violence going on outside and people were hiding in the church. These are people who are just meeting at church to do church things. And, some asshole shows up with a gun and fucking decides to start murdering people. So it's just real, it's disgusting. It really is. Like I said, I'm all for gun to ownership. I think people should have guns, but it's also your not to quote, we'll get to the second half of the show talking about SpiderMan, but this, to use the SpiderMan credo, with great power comes great responsibility. Having a weapon is great power, and it's your job to fucking secure that weapon and make sure that it doesn't fall in the hands of fucking idiots.
Well, I've been talking about this kind of during the day today. Mm-hmm. It's getting to the point this senator down in South Carolina, I think he's like a state senator. Mm-hmm. He first of all, he blamed the victims for not trying to take care of this guy, number one. And number two, he's one of the people that voted against, he's one of the 10 people that voted against not taking down the flag. And I'm like, at this point, if your constituents are saying, oh, well, we want to still have the flag, then they're all white racists, is what you're pretty much saying. Mm. And here's my problem, and it's with everything that's going on right now, and it's mainly down south. There's a little bit of it up here, but not as much as down south. You got these cops, and I guess it's not just cops down south. It's cops in general now are being portrayed as this evil, and they're racist. They beat on people. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Latino, whatever. They're cops. They're gonna beat you and do whatever. Look at what was it? Was it in Maryland that it happened? I think where Freddie Gray. Did I say that right?
Was that the one where the guy was running away and got shot in the back?
No, that was the one where the guy they put him into a police vehicle and then somehow he got injured in the police vehicle.
Yeah. No, that was
Baltimore, Maryland, I think.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay, so. And here's the thing, and it's one of those things that kind of pisses me off because they're all like, oh, the cops are racist. I'm like, how can they be racist? Three of them were black. One of them was a female that was black. There's no racism here. I'm sorry. So there's that. And then you got a guy like this, like you were just talking about. And I said on Jody's thing that basically these people, like white people, are now being portrayed as these racists that are trying to kill black people now. Where like back in the 90s, white people were portrayed as these idiots that get into a vehicle, drive into a building, and blow it up. Remember that?
Yeah.
So. And that, black people are being portrayed as these people that, can do no good, basically. And here's the problem. The problem is we have way too many people. White people don't have as much of a problem as black people do, but, we also have this problem of having these people that portray our race in a negative context, and then we look like the idiots. For white people, we got a fucking idiot like this, or the guy that went into a movie theater and shot up the whole fucking theater, or some other psycho out there. Oh, that other guy that went up and shot the senator in the head, and a bunch of other people. We have these idiots, and we look bad. And then you got black people that have, which unfortunately, a large percentage of the crime that happens in our states is by black people. It's a number. It's a statistic that you can look up. I'm not going to sit here and go over it with you, but it's a very high statistic. You got these, it's getting to the point where, black people are being portrayed as the bad people in our country, whereas not all black people are that way. We have black people that are on the Fortune 500 list. We have black people that, are doing just as well as a white person, and it's just what it is it's these people that are just make the race, any person's race, they look bad, And, I just think right now what we need to come together. And I do agree, we need to do something about guns, because like President Obama said, and this is something that I think President Obama should do, because what better time to do it than when you're leaving office? Nobody's going to come after you. You're not going for re-election.
No backlash.
Right, no backlash. What are people going to do to you? Nothing. So this is the best time to do it. Mm-hmm. Go right to the Congress. Don't even like announce that you're coming. Just show up at the Capitol. Go in there. I'm calling a session of Congress. I want everybody here now. Mm-hmm. Get the cameras in the room. Get in there and say, look, I don't know what we need to do. Mm-hmm. But we need to fucking come together and stop this gun violence. Not only is this a fucking epidemic, this is an embarrassment. You go to another country, they have virtually zero fucking shootings. Zero. Yeah. We have so many shootings that the terrorists sit there and go, why do we need to come into this country? Like, why do we need to, like China, why do we need to invade the United States? We don't, because they're killing each other, Yeah. And that's the thing. This is the time to step up and say, look, we need some kind of comprehensive gun law. We need something, because I don't want to take everybody's guns, but I think that there's way too many people that do have guns that don't operate them correctly. Whether that be using it for crimes, whether that be for using it for evil purposes, whatever. But it's come to a point, Chris, where we need to fix this problem. Because if we don't, it's getting worse. It's getting fucking worse. I mean, how many times do we have to have a massacre in this country before somebody stands up and says, that's it, we're done. That's it. It needs to stop. Because, look, I'm not saying take away the guns, but at some point, we may have to take away the guns. Like, it's bad, Chris. It's really bad.
I got you. I mean, like I said, I've always been, I'm all for gun ownership, but once again, that's requiring people to have common sense, and unfortunately, fucking people didn't know how to handle their shit. It's like everything. If you don't know how to fucking handle it, then don't fucking do it. If you know how to drive, don't get behind the wheel. If you're drunk, don't get behind the wheel. If you're, if you don't know, if you're a person that does drugs and you're gonna do it to the point where you're fucking, you're a drain on society and stuff like that. If you can handle your high, get high as often as you like. If you're a person, if you know how to handle your weapons, have enough guns to fucking make the Punisher fucking jealous.
Here's another thing. And I think it's a brilliant idea. I came up with this the other day. New York State is one of the toughest states to get a gun, and I think that's great. But I think we need to take it a step farther, and I think it needs to be federal. Is every single year, if you want to own a gun, and I'm not saying that you have to do this to get your license. I think having a 5-year gun license is fine or whatever. I don't know how that works. I'm not privy to that, but. What I'm thinking is we go a step further and we have psych exams every single year. Psych exams. And say, look, you want to own a gun? Fine. You're going to take a psych exam every single year. And if you fail, you lose your license. I think it's simple like that.
Now I saw someone, and I can't believe this didn't pop in my head earlier, and I saw someone put a link to this, and I wish I had it, but they had put this idea. They said, imagine your gun ownership like owning a car, and they would have. For you to own a gun, you would have to pay gun ownership insurance.
Yes.
The same way you're legally mandated to have insurance. If you're going to have a car, you're legally mandated to have insurance, or at least in the United States for our international listeners. So one, if you want to have your gun, go right ahead. You have all the fucking guns in the world, but you have to fucking afford to have all those guns for each gun that you have.
Exactly.
And in the off chance that the same thing like a car, if your car is used to fucking, if you have a car and someone else uses it, you're the one responsible. The same way, if someone, and it would hold people responsible for their weapons. It would, and now that you're talking about money, you put money into the equation.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, there should be a huge penalty for anything that happens, and there should be money. Because here's the thing: there's countries that you do something wrong, even the slightest, smallest thing, you're put to death. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but if somebody takes my gun and shoots somebody, and I'm going to be brought up on murder charges just because somebody used my gun, I'm going to make sure that my gun is secure in every fucking way possible, So, like, at this point, it's like, why not just do those kinds of things? Why not be comprehensive about this? We're not taking your guns away, but we're making it harder for those people that don't know how to use them to have them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're making it harder for those idiots to get a gun and to shoot somebody. Because the problem is, Chris, is these people are somehow getting them. Whether it be from a parent, they shoot their parent, take their guns, whatever. They're getting these guns. And thank God we haven't had, like, another huge school shooting. But, like, it's, at some point, we're going to have to do something. And, I hate to say this, but, instead of sending our military to fucking Iraq or something, we may have to send military into some of our towns and cities to clean up this fucking mess. Because, Chicago is one of the worst cities in America for crime. Like, and all these people have thousands of guns. Why? Why are we not going in there and cleaning up these fucking mess? Why aren't we doing something about this? Because at some point, it's going to come to a degree where, these people are going to turn and just start killing people randomly. They're just going to be like, fuck it, I'm killing everybody, and I don't care who it is, and we're all going to be fucked. Yeah. We need to do something about this. We need to stop. We need to stop it, and we need to, it's not just the guns. We need to stop that. We need to stop the racism. We need to just come together as a country, because at some point, if we don't, our country's going to fail, and then we're going to have idiots like China coming in and taking us over. And I don't want that.
Then the Chinese are going to come and we won't have our guns. No.
Shit, it's bad enough that we had to take SpiderMan back from China. But that's for after the good segue.
Well, I think you mean Japan, but
well, whatever. Japan, China, whatever.
Okay, and we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. You can leave the pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. All right, so as we got right before the break, Paul mentioned this was top of my list in the nerdy news. Within literally 35 minutes of this news making the rounds on the internet, I was tagged on Facebook. The whole world wanted to make sure I knew, because this is something that's been important to me, or at least has been. Anyone who listens to this podcast knows that we've been, a new drinking game. Every time we mention Spider-Man, take a shot. But they have released the new, for the time being, the new Spider-Man into the Marvel universe. And of course, Marvel doesn't fuck around. They have movies planned for the next, well, at least 5 years, 6 years. So this kid is coming in knowing that he has a whole bunch of fucking work in front of him, which, of course, for him is good. Hopefully he doesn't turn out to one of those people that doesn't turn sour, bitter, or anything like that. I mean, he's going to be working. Actor Tom Holland, who, I'll be honest with you, before I heard the announcement online this past 2 days ago, I'd never heard of this kid before. They said he's going to be playing the new Spider-Man, the new Peter Parker, I guess would be the better. Not to say the new. Yes, he would be playing Spider-Man, but he will be playing Peter Parker, just in case somewhere down the line there happens to be another Spider-Man or Spider person. Peter Parker will now be played by Tom Holland, who's known mostly for movies, and I'm looking at his IMDb page right now, and he's in a movie. Let me see what's been out so far. He was on a TV show miniseries called Wolf Hall. Okay, he was in Billy Elliot the musical. How I Live Now, never heard of it. He was on a show or a game called Eddie. He played a character named Eddie on a show or a video game called Locke. He was on a movie called The Impossible. His name was Lucas. Like I said, I've never heard of this kid. Not that that's a bad thing. Obviously, I'm pretty sure the people at Marvel did their homework. Once again, hopefully it has been explained to him that, they own his soul for the. Probably. Of course, the Spider-Man has had his ups and downs in the past 12 years or so. Oh, no, what am I saying? No, the first movie came out, 2002. So the past 13 years, we've had a Spider-Man on screen every 3 years or so. So, he's got big shoes to fill. Unfortunately, this is something like I commented on my Facebook page. The bar was lowered at Andrew Garfield. No one was excited to see a Twilight reject play Spider-Man. It was good in theory, bad in execution. And let me see. This son of a bitch, and I'm looking at his IMDb page, was born in fucking
England.
In England. So another Brit stealing work from an American actor, playing an American superhero, because Peter Parker, Jesus Christ, his colors are red, white, and blue. His eyes are white and I guess technically black if you want to throw that in there, but so another Brit stealing an American job. But hopefully, if he's good. Oh, okay. He has 3 younger brothers. Oh, and a twin. He has a twin. Am I reading this correctly?
I don't know. I don't know what you're reading. So.
Okay, no. Let me see. I'm looking at his IMDb page right now, and they're talking about his brothers and sisters and. Oh shit! I lost it. I clicked on the link and I lost where it was. It looks like he may have a twin brother. Right? No, he lives with his parents and 3 younger brothers. Oh, Oh no. Okay, no. 2 of his brothers are twins. I'm sorry. I was like that. Is Marvel trying to do something by giving us a twin? That'd be sick if they hired like an actor that had a twin brother. Like, so if they needed to do like some sort of funky either time traveling scheme or there was a what was called the Clone Wars saga in the. I want to say the early 90s with Spider-Man, but no, I was wrong. So Tom Holland, relatively unknown, 19 years old. And once again, like I said on my Facebook page, I literally have Spider-Man comics that are older than this kid. And once again, I'm not kicking him because he's young. Because once again, as we have discussed ad nauseum at this podcast, I like the idea that they're going young. One, because he's supposed to be playing a young person. He's supposed to be playing Peter Parker, who's just out of high school, right? I think the official notice is that he's going to be like a college freshman, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But he's supposed to be someone that's technically in high school or just starting college. So why not get a 19-year-old? Let him grow up in the spotlight as he gets older and as his parts get bigger. I mean, right now he's just having a part in the Captain America Civil War, Captain America 3 Civil War. And then, then he has his own movie coming out, it's been announced for 2017, which I'm pretty sure Marvel's going to hit the mark and get out just in time. So, why not? Of course, and, Paul, I know you've been championing Tobey Maguire. But, if Tobey Maguire, and there's nothing against Tobey Maguire, but if he wanted to, he could easily say, no, I want X amount of dollars. And they would be kind of stuck with this guy if he wanted money. Them going with a relatively unknown actor in Marvel, and once again, I'm just playing like devil's advocate here. The fact that they're choosing someone that no one knows who the fuck it is, they can give him anything. They say, here's $20,000 in a box of fucking Frosted Flakes, you know what I'm saying? And he's going to do it. Of course, these movies are going to fucking probably gross, maybe not Star Wars money, but, the next Spider-Man movie is going to do well because Marvel's behind it now. So, why not get a kid that they could get for fucking dirt cheap now, lock him into a contract, like, we own your ass for at least 8 movies. I mean, once again, that's a number that I'm just making up. We own you for 8 movies. You're going to do them. You're going to be in, and once again, totally my speculation. You're going to be in Avengers 3. You're going to be in Black Panther. You're going to be, in your own 3, your own trilogy. That's 5 movies right there. What I say? Okay, his own trilogy. Captain America 3, and let's just for shits and giggles say Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? They already own his ass for 5 movies, so we'll get him young, get him cheap. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. He renegotiated his contract and he's getting fucking boatloads of fucking money. So I don't know. I think it's a smart idea that they got a young guy. Nothing against Tobey Maguire. I'm just saying it's a smart business decision. Not to mention the fact that he's supposed to be someone that's a freshman in college.
Well, let's make it official that they did announce today that he's going to be in Captain America 3. So that one,
it's on IMDb. I mean, not that IMDb is the fucking the end.
But it was made official that is going to happen.
Sorry.
Why are you drinking on the podcast, you fucker?
To keep up my energy.
Yeah, okay. Oh, also, there was a Q&A, and apparently the director, I believe it was the director, said that the possibility of other Marvel characters showing up is good. So
of course. That
may also happen in these new Spider-Man movies, which I do encourage, to be honest with you. I don't know how they're gonna do the Sinister Six movie, and Venom. Now this is perfect for Venom because now they can just start fresh with Venom, and they can bring this kid in. So it's this is a good thing, but I think it was you that had said this on Facebook. Something about Peter Parker coming out of college, working for Jonah Jameson. Was that you that said that?
Oh, no, that was my buddy Dave.
Okay, that was Dave, yeah. He said, he was talking about how, and I thought, and I went, this proves my point right here, why it should be Tobey Maguire. They pretty much get rid of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that's non-canon, don't fucking worry about it. And they bring back Tobey Maguire, and they say, okay, he's married to Mary Jane now. He's out of college. He's working for Jonah Jameson, I guess, or something. And
yeah, he could work. He could work with the
right.
Well, I mean, we can't have at this point a grizzled Spider-Man where the Amazing Spider-Man is its own entity because you have the Amazing in the beginning, and then have this is Spider-Man. The last time we saw him fighting Venom and all this other bullshit. Now because he fought Venom and the Sandman, he caught the Eye of Shield, and the Shield has been watching him. And they've bugged Aunt May's house, or whatever.
This would be the perfect opportunity to bring him back in. But
so he'd be a grizzled Spider-Man. He'd be a
right. And to be honest with you, I think that would be a better idea for Civil War than a new guy. But you know what? Marvel has this vision. I'll let them do what they're going to do because they really haven't done too much wrong with Iron Man and the Avengers yet. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned, but at the same time, I think it would have been better just to try to bring back.
But look at dude, and I mean not for nothing. I'm looking at Tobey. I googled Tobey Maguire. I'm looking at it. He turns 40 in 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know. You know, I mean these Marvel movies are planned out, and that's just what they've announced. That's not even counting.
I'm going to be honest with you. He's probably sitting on about a couple $1 million just from those movies that they didn't do that Sony canceled.
Oh yeah.
I got to think that because they were starting production of that, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of these contracts, they have to pay these actors.
Pay or play contracts. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm sure that was in there. And I'm sure Sam Raimi. I mean, I haven't seen him do a movie recently. He's probably sitting on a couple million too, because he's sitting there going, "Hey, you guys were dumb fucks. Go ahead and fuck it up. Oh, look, you did fuck up the last 2 movies." You know. I mean, look, we're in a good place. Our dreams are coming true. Spider-Man's going to be in these movies. I wish they wouldn't have picked another fucking British actor, but it's neither here nor there. They're going to do what they want to do. And I just hope it goes well. But, you know, it's interesting because I don't know if it happened before it was announced or it was while this was being announced. It came out that in the hacked emails, and I'm sure you heard this, that Sony said, and I don't know if it was Marvel. Marvel may have said this too. I'm not. Don't quote me on this because I don't remember if it was Marvel too. But they said that Spider-Man has to be straight, he has to be white, and that's the way he's going to be.
Yeah, part of the leaked emails, because Kevin Smith spoke about it, and in another podcast I listened to called The Weekly Planet. They spoke about it. Yeah, they said he has to live in New York. He has to. Actually, I think they even said as a high school he has. And this is like, I mean, once again, I could be wrong here, but he has to live in Queens. He has to, when he goes to college, it has to be college in Manhattan. He can't sell drugs. He can't kill unless it's his absolute, like, you know, last resort. He has to be white. He has to be straight. I know there was one other like big one. He has to be white. He has to be straight.
He can't be black.
Well, I'm just saying. They said he has to be Caucasian. I think was the proper terminology they used.
Was this Sony or was this Marvel? I don't remember.
No, this was when
it must be Sony.
No. When Sony got the rights from Marvel, this was part of like Marvel saying this is how Spider-Man is supposed to be portrayed. You know, like okay, we're gonna give him to you and you can use him, but you have to follow these, you know, some certain rules.
Right.
Because if you bend them, then you know we're not gonna let you destroy our property by making and like I said, he can't sell drugs or do drugs or you know, and so it would be, you know, because I mean imagine if Sony just, you know, let's just say some fucking person you know with who didn't mind committing career suicide and said, yeah, we're gonna make an edgy Spider-Man movie where he does drugs and sells drugs, and you know, I mean, you know, then Marvel would say, fuck you, you know, you're killing our property. This is something we own and something we've had established for generations. Right. You're not going to just take it and fucking do what the fuck you want with it. So I think those rules, you know, I mean, it is kind of like, I mean, once again, this is a leaked email. This wasn't meant for people to see, but it is kind of weird that they would say like, has to be straight, has to be white, you know, or should, you know, like I said, we say white. I mean, they say their terminology is Caucasian, but you know what I mean.
I hate to say this, but you know, for me, I don't think Spider-Man should be outside of the box. Now, it's kind of interesting that they would say that, but then have a black version of Spider-Man, because it's like, okay, wait a minute. So Spider-Man can't be a different race, but yet you have this black Spider-Man over here. Like, that's kind of contradictory to me. It's like, I don't know. Like, it's just like...
Well, I mean, once again, this is them telling a movie studio, look, this is, if you want to use our stuff, these are the rules you have to stick by. And the comics, they own the comics. They could do whatever the fuck they want. They can make Spider-Man into a drug addict if they want to.
Which he will never be.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to. I mean, it would be, you know, but you know, one day, I wouldn't be surprised sometime in our lifetime, someone's going to, you know, Marvel keeps switching. Same thing with DC, not taking anything away from DC. You know, someone in Marvel will go, you know what, let's just say the comics stop selling as well as they do. You know, we got to do something different. You know, what can we do to make something edgy? Drugs. Yeah. Let's make them a drug addict. You know, it's, you know, and once again, it's their property. They can do whatever they want in the comics.
I agree.
But you know, for them to say, you know, I mean, but they're just telling Sony, they're like, look, you know, you can't go and take this, and do whatever, you can't go and do whatever the hell you want. You can't take Spider-Man and, now Spider-Man has a fucking, a Gatling gun mowing down people in the streets of New York City, because that has nothing to do with, how the character is portrayed in the comics, So.
Right. Well, for me, it's like, first of all, I don't want Spider-Man to be black. I want him to be the Spider-Man that I know and love. Now, that being said, if they set up Miles Morales and they set him up properly in the live action movies, then yeah, all day long you can bring a black Spider-Man in. But I don't want you to just throw the American public a black Spider-Man. That's just stupid to me. You know what I mean? It's like if they had done the Avengers and not introduced any of these characters before they did the Avengers, that would have been stupid. Like, okay, these are the Avengers. What? I don't know this person. I don't know this person as Thor. I don't know this person as Captain America. I don't know this person as Iron Man. How the fuck am I supposed to connect with them? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look, let me play devil's advocate once again. I mean, shit, for decades, fucking Nick Fury was a white guy. Yep. I mean, shit. I mean, yep. He was portrayed by fucking David Hasselhoff, for Christ's sake. Yep. And how is it that all of a sudden, because the black Nick Fury was introduced in the Ultimate Universe. Marvel's kind of like, when Marvel wants to do something a little different, they put it in the Ultimate Universe. So originally, Nick Fury was always white for generations. I mean, from what, like the 50s, if I'm not 50s or 60s.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's one of the only characters out there in like the Marvel or even the DC universe. Let's take that too. That you could probably take and change his race, and it's not a problem. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to be... I don't really want to be, like, a dick about this, but I think a Samuel L. Jackson type of black guy is a little bit better than having, like, okay, we're going to have some white guy do it.
But I mean, they could have gotten... Let me see. Who has a good stage presence, the white actor?
The Rock.
I mean, well, come on. The Rock is not white. The Rock is fucking Samoan and black. I'm trying to think of like a white guy that has like that kind of.
Oh, who was I thinking? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Because it's someone that's like snark. Now, of course, Agent Nick Fury was always
into the chopper.
Well, because Nick Fury was always kind of athletic in size, and from my memories as a kid, because he was the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, of course, now he's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever, but he was, it was always Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it would have been someone, in shape, and not that, yeah, they have Samuel Jackson shooting guns and shit, but he's not really he's not doing hand to hand stuff. Not really. I can't think off the top of my head him fighting someone hand to hand. Right. I'm trying to think, I can't think of any. I can't believe I can't think of like a one white actor off the top of my head that would be as good. But see, not like I said, not to totally contradict you, but just saying that Nick Fury for literally 3 to 4 decades or 5 decades was a white character. That all of us, if you had, now imagine if you for 40 years, you've been reading comics, and let's just say, you read it all through your 20s and 30s, and then you kind of fell out of comics, and now okay, now they're making a movie, and Nick Fury's going to be in it, and then it's like Samuel Jackson, you'll be like, what the fuck, that doesn't look anything like the character that I grew up with, but. Well,
I kind of think. I hate to say this too, but I kind of think that David Hasselhoff kind of fucked him up. So they were like,
David Hasselhoff was that was a low budget production,
Oh yeah, I don't think that was his fault, but I'm just saying, like, there are certain characters in both universes, the Marvel and the DC universe, that you can change the color of the character and it's not going to matter. Mm-hmm. But it's like, for me, like Thor, for example, Thor, like, is now a woman in the comics, and it's just like...
Well, okay, and like right now, I just did like a Google search. Like, I mean, now let's just rewind it a couple of years, and let's just say they never flipped races on Nick Fury. They could have gotten like a Brad Pitt, and I was trying to look at actors or whatever. I'm like, what actors can,
By the way, let's not bring Lex Luthor back into this, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
They could have gotten, well, I mean, I would have shot somebody if they did like Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that. But I'm trying to think of people that were kind of famous at that time. I could see, especially that how Brad Pitt does like these more like classic characters, like with thin pencil mustaches. He could have been like an old school fighter guy as Nick Fury. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks has been begging for years and years to fucking be like a Marvel character. Shit.
Yeah, imagine fucking Tom Hanks like coming out as a badass. Like he's a great actor, but imagine like him like embracing like his fucking like dark side, for the lack of a better term. Like someone like, this motherfucker scares me and I don't want to be in a room with him because he could probably kill me with his pinky.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying is that, they could have easily, it could have been Brad Pitt or Tom Hanks playing fucking Nick Fury and none of us would have batted an eye, So, I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, and at least with this, okay, they have, and in the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man, there's still, Peter Parker exists in that universe. So you can technically have both of them, and right now, we have Tom Holland.
Well, that's why I'm saying, that's why
playing Spider-Man. And then maybe a couple years down the line, Tom Holland's getting a little fucking, he's getting a little tired of this bullshit, and his contract is almost up. Boom, they'll grab the next young black kid or whatever. They'll let Tom Holland be in a movie for like the first 20 minutes, and introducing, boom, now we got Miles Morales Spider-Man. Right. They'll have plenty of time if they wanted to go in that direction. And then of course it's also to keep Tom Holland on track. Like if you fuck up, we'll just give the whole franchise to this kid. And how badass would it be if there was two Spider-Mans in one movie?
It would be interesting. That's for sure. But another story that we should talk about. I don't even know.
I can't believe
I mean, we're coming up.
You spoke for like 25 minutes about Spider-Man yet again.
We're coming to the end of the show, but one other thing that just came off the top of my head that I forgot, and I don't know if you've heard this, but the rumor is out there that the new Batman movie that's going to be coming out, probably they're shooting for 2018, I guess. The rumor is not only is Ben Affleck going to be Batman, which we already know that he's actually going to direct this film.
Holy shit.
Yes, that's the rumor that's out there right now. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like, this could actually be good.
I mean, look, I didn't see Argo. I didn't see The Town. I think that was the other one he did called The Town.
Yes.
But I mean, from what I understand, people jizz in their pants over those two movies. So if you think of it, and once again, this fits right into like we say, comic book movies, the first one's good, the second one is better, the third one eventually sucks. But if you take, okay, you have the Batman v Superman, which would be technically Batman's first movie, and then you have Ben Affleck, who obviously is going to. He wants to make himself look good, but since he's a director, he also wouldn't mind making himself look bad, and not bad. I mean, as in like, beating down Batman to the point where like he damn near gives up.
I'm going to be honest, I think like it's going to be kind of like the Dark Knight trilogy, basically. It's going to be the same as Christopher Nolan's kind of, in that dark sense, because it works. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's going to be to the degree of where like Batman's like every person that comes near him, he kills them.
No, the opposite. I think Ben Affleck would give us a movie where we see fucking Batman I mean, of course, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, they already did the whole, Batman gets his back broken by Bane, but that's a lot of B's there. Batman gets his back broken by Bane, but they could be.
Apparently in this universe, Robin is dead. So what they could do in this new movie is introduce.
They could do the death of Robin. I mean, or
no, they wouldn't do the death of Robin because they would already establish that he's dead. I would say do like
him training a new Robin.
Right, exactly. Or
the Red Hood.
Or they could do what's going on right now in the actual animated movies and bring in his son.
Wow.
Which I think would be, in this universe, would be a good idea. And then you introduce that Robin, and I think, like...
Yeah, because it's a character that the casual fan hasn't really seen.
Exactly. And I think, being that you're starting Batman kind of anew, this would be the perfect idea, the perfect way to do it. Now, I'm kind of confused. Was it Dick Grayson that was killed as Robin, or is it the other?
No. Dick Grayson went on to become Nightwing.
Okay,
and
so
there was
that got killed.
Timothy Drake.
So they killed off Timothy Drake then, probably, in this use.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that's what it is. I mean, I don't know if if Nightwing is actually in this universe. Because if it's not, then he got killed off.
Well, because what happens is, Dick Grayson goes off to become Nightwing.
Right.
Timothy Drake is the one that, oh my god, I can't believe it. People are gonna fucking scream at me if I get this shit wrong. Hold on, let me let me jump on Wikipedia real quick. Okay, because I know the Tim Drake, and then there's...
Well, Dick Grayson was the
Jason Todd. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jason Todd's the one that... Wait, who's... No. Oh, no. Tim Drake is the one that gets killed. Okay, I don't know why the fuck I...
Okay, so he's probably the one that's going to get killed then.
Yeah, then there's
But
Jason Todd.
But see, here's the thing. They haven't said anything about Nightwing, so...
Yeah, now you said Robin is dead. That doesn't mean... There could be a Robin that has transformed into Nightwing and will be brought into the fucking next Suicide Squad movie, hypothetically. Once again, just totally speculating. Then you have the Tim Drake Robin, which gets killed and helps Batman become the dark, sullen, fucking introverted, even more introverted than he usually is. And then you could kind of say, hey, you can kind of give us a glimpse of Talia al Ghul. I mean, even though, okay, technically we did see her in The Dark Knight Rises, but an interesting version of Talia al Ghul. Would be a better way to say it. And then say, oh, by the way, here's your 12-year-old son who fucking, has already killed about 18 guys, I'm just making that number up, but I mean, by the time Damian Wayne meets his father, he's killed, and he has at least double digits in the bodies that he has.
Right.
I mean, hey, his grandfather was the fucking,
But as we get more information, we'll let you guys know. That's the rumor that's out there right now. So, but we're at the end of the show. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, real quick, Marvel's not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't think that's a big deal. I know you said whatever, because Marvel under DC, Marvel's going to have their own thing to go along with Disney, and it's going to be, their version of Comic-Con. They're doing their own thing. What I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love San Diego Comic-Con. I've never been. I would love to go. But they don't necessarily have to do that anymore. They've gotten a much more powerful master. All hail the mouse. Disney.
Oh,
there's instead of waiting to go to San Diego Comic-Con once a year. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney has fucking 4 Comic-Cons a year, their own version where, it's a Marvel fucking extravaganza or whatever, and everything that you would get at Comic-Con except now here you are at Disney World, what I'm saying, where San Diego Comic-Con is an event. Well, why not pander to the fucking parents, like people our age, that not only will we go, but then we'll bring our fucking kids. And then, your son could go, your son would be into whatever Star Wars or other Marvel stuff. My daughter would be into fucking Frozen or whatever, and now we're getting suckered for even more money because, we're there to see, Spider-Man and Captain America. They're there to see, Darth Vader and fucking Elsa and Anna from Frozen. And, and they're, we just hand our wallets over to the mouse, so here, try not to fuck me too hard. What was that? Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying is they're doing their own. They're going to be doing their own. It's not like they're not doing. They're not going to call it a con, but whatever the Disney celebration or whatever the hell it's called will have its own Marvel wing, and it will be the equivalent of going to San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, it'll probably be at fucking Disneyland. They'll be like, oh yeah, here.
Exactly. So now imagine them raking in the money where it's like going to Comic-Con except at Disney World. That's all they're doing. They're renaming it and making it their own, as opposed to going to San Diego Comic-Con and having to kiss San Diego Comic-Con's ass. They'll do their own thing because they don't have to kiss anybody's ass because they're owned by Mickey Mouse, who owns fucking everything. And let me see. And I just want two more. I mean, I guess the end of Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, it's been spoiled for me. I haven't watched it, but I watched the first 3 episodes, which from what I understand are boring. And then I got my hands. I literally bought a $4 version of Fallout 3 for the PlayStation 3 in preparation for Fallout 4, which comes out in a couple of months, which will be coming out for the PlayStation 4, which hopefully I'll have and hasn't broken since. So Jesus. I've been playing. I mean, it's funny because it's like I had Fallout 3 a long time ago, and then I sold it on eBay when I was at a time when I was kind of just selling everything I owned just because I needed money. So I never really played it, and now I'm playing it again, and I'm realizing how much fun it is. And then there was sort of a third party company, Obsidian, because Bethesda makes Fallout 3. Then another company, Obsidian, made an expansion pack or a second game called Fallout New Vegas, which according to everyone says is even better than Fallout 3. And then, now we're preparing for Fallout 4. So I've been playing Fallout 3 basically. I bought it for $5 at GameStop, and holy shit, it's a great fucking game. And it's the game of the year edition, so it comes with all the DLC. And,
right.
And once again, Fallout 4. I'm going to harass the hell out of him. Kal-El Bogdanov. I interviewed his father for when his father had a Kickstarter to do a comic book called Strongman. So hopefully that will be my in, so I can harass him to come on the show and he could talk about Fallout 4. But I kind of want to play more Fallout 3 just so I can have a better mindset of the questions I want to throw at him. So please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net where you can find things, all things show related. You can find the links to our iTunes page where you can go back and listen to more than 3 years worth of podcasts. As our server space runs out on our Podomatic site, you can go back on iTunes and say, what was Chris talking about 3 years ago? And you can check all that out on iTunes. If you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod, you can look us up on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER. What I like about Stitcher the most is that, one, any podcast worth listening to is on there, and I'll get to that in a second. But they have the option called Listen Later. So if you have your Android device and you're at home, you're in your Wi-Fi spot, you're a person like me that actually has metered data, and you feel like you're getting fucked by the company, you can download all the episodes you want to listen to while you're in your Wi-Fi spot. Listen to them later. You just click the option Listen Later, and you can listen to it when you're out and about, so you're not draining your battery, you're not draining your data plan. And you can listen to Chris Hardwick's The Nerdist, Kevin Smith's Smodcast, Mark Maron, who had President Obama on. President Obama was on a fucking podcast. That blew my mind. But we don't have time to talk about that. What else? This American Life, and of course, Tsunami Faithful podcast. Well, apparently, those guys never give us any love, but
shut up! I've given you love on there before.
Yeah, but you can listen to Paul's other baby on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast, all spelled out. Once again, we would like some money, but if you don't have a dime to spare, you could always just share our page, like our page, share any particular episode, maybe this one or anyone before this if you like. Share it on your page. It takes 2 seconds. It helps get the word out there as fucking 50 motorcycles race past my house. Whatchamacallit? Yeah. So it takes 2 seconds to share us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at Stranger Podcasts, and also I guess technically on Periscope. Even though we had one listener to the whole show and then they went away back when you were talking, Paul, and they left because I guess they're only seeing my end and they can't hear your end, so they probably like this. They're just looking at me staring at the screen. So I guess technically we're on Periscope and we're on Twitter at Stranger Podcast. If you want to write to us like our number one fan Oscar, you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. That's all spelled out. twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. And I can't think of anything else. I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter at Paul Pascrillo. My last name is spelled PESCRILLO. You can find me on Instagram. It's instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. And you can also find me. I have an ask.fm. It's ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. Ask me questions there, and I will be happy to answer them. So we got some things coming up. I'll announce some stuff hopefully soon, letting you know about some music and that coming up, but I have nothing at the moment. So. And
if you haven't checked it out yet, I forgot. I got to add this to my list. YouTube. Just go on YouTube and search for Two Strangers One Podcast. You see their Stranger vlog. I keep wanting to do more, and I just haven't had the time. But I got my hands on a halfway decent camera, so you can get to see my beautiful face in well, not HD, but pretty decent standard definition. And that's all you got, Paul?
And that's it.
GeekyInc.com?
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you guys check out our MomoCon coverage, GeekyInc.com, and of course, TsunamiFaithful.com. We got videos up from the con, and got some good interviews. So hopefully you guys will check those out if you're listening.
And hopefully you guys had as much fun listening as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. We're out.
Bye. You should be fapping
and paying me money to record it.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with the materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah,
man. Look at her. Fucking, she's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. And if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15 is not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I
and
will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.